thinking about pushing into my heel, my big toe, my pinky toe, so that full foot pressure. Hey guys, what's up? So welcome back to the Get Jacked series. Today we're going to show you guys how to get some quads for the broads. Usually it's just guys asking how to get jack quads, but still, for the broads. Couple things, keep in mind, hip pelvis position and then foot pressure. Those two things are going to be the major keys we'll be focusing on when you're doing the movements. Obviously for leg extension, the first movement we'll be doing, the foot pressure isn't that crazy, but you do want to think about having your toes facing the ceiling the entire time when you're doing the movement, right? So first thing is first, I'm going to set up the machine properly, right? So for my height, I need to move the seat forward a bit. So I'm going to move this forward. There you go. So that way my hips and quads can stay in a stable position right here. So now I'm tight. And now the main thing I want to focus on here is my knee, ankle, toes, everything is lined up. So my hip, knee, ankle is all lined up. And now I'm going to think about toe to ceiling. Get that contraction. Look at that. I already got a juicy pump. Toe to ceiling. There you go. Toe to ceiling. Keep that hip position neutral. I don't want the hips to be extending like this, right? Keep that hip position neutral. There you go. The hip, knee, and ankle are all lined up. I'm thinking toe to ceiling. Get that contraction right here, okay? There you go. So you can do anywhere from 2 to 3 sets here. But I like going for that higher rep range, so 12 to 15 reps here. Send it on the quads. Get that juicy quad pump. Get the knees fired up. And then we'll get into our bigger, heavier lifts, okay? So juicy pump right here. There you go. Now let's get into a leg press, okay? Let's get it. The second movement we're doing is a leg press. So you can also do like either a squat variation with your heels elevated, like a safety bar, a front squat, barbell, goblet, whatever you kind of prefer and where your experience level is, right? But if you're just trying to get juicy quads, I prefer some sort of machine like a leg press. Couple things here, thinking about, I like doing it with no shoes, or if you have like barefoot shoes, so you can really focus on the foot pressure onto the pad, right? So you want to focus on keeping your feet position right inside hip width, okay? So you don't want the hips, feet to be too wide. You want them to be fairly neutral and lined up with your hips, okay? So hip, knee, and ankle are lined up again, right here. And here I'm thinking about pushing into my heel, my big toe, my pinky toe, so that full foot pressure. And then I'm making sure my low back is also adjusted on the seat. I don't want the low back to be arched. Press up with the full feet pressure. There you go. And now on the down position, I almost think about get that stretch based on your hip mobility, but don't let the low back get up, okay? Full squeeze, you don't want to lock out fully, but you do want to get that full stretch in this position, keeping that entire foot on the leg press. There you go. Full squeeze, full stretch at the bottom, full stretch, full stretch. Beautiful. This one allows us to go a little heavier. So what I would do is I would do one heavy set, 6 to 10 reps, and highlight, send it on that set, and then do a lighter set, 12 to 15 reps, okay? So make sure the hip, knee, ankle lined up, foot pressure is good, hips are neutral position, and then send it and get juicy quads, okay? Let's move on to the next exercise. Hey guys, so the third exercise is gonna be some sort of lunge variation. So you can also do like a split squat or even like a Bulgarian. I like a lunge because I find it transfers well to like real life, so functionality purposes. If everything is machine based, I like having like a walking movement where you're naturally moving the hips a little better. Couple things here again, foot pressure. So I've taken the shoes off again, so I can really create that foot pressure with the big toe, heel, pinky toe, pushing that entire foot into the ground. Second thing in a lunge, you don't want to stomp down. You want to make sure the steps are as nice and controlled as possible, not too hard into the floor, okay? So let's get into it, right? So you want to make sure pelvis in a neutral position, and every time you lunge, a soft step with the entire foot. There you go. And you don't want to go zigzag. You want to go straight, like you're walking on a tightrope. Up. There you go. Stable. I like doing this at the end of the workout just because it requires a bit more stability. So your quads are fried at this point, so you pretty much finish them off nicely, okay? There you go. So for this one, it is a high fatiguing movement, so I would do a little lesser rep range, like, 8 to 12-ish, not too high, because your stability is gonna be a limiting factor. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the quads. A leg extension variation, where you go higher reps, 15 to 20, 2 to 3 sets. A leg press, where you can send it on the weight a little bit. So like, one main heavy set, one lighter set, 8 to 12 or 12 to 15. And then a walking lunge, 1 to 2 sets, but like send it a little bit until your stability and quads give out. All that being said, if you're not progressing on the lifts, you're not eating enough, nothing's gonna happen, right? So make sure like all the lifts you're tracking, logging them down, and then you're constantly progressing over time. And then you're eating enough food, so you're recovering from the workout. You're sleeping enough, so you're recovering. And then your quads may actually get jacked and grow, right? So hope this helped. Any questions, let me know. And let's keep getting jacked. I'll be back with more videos, okay? Take it easy.